Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. We just got our latest Battlbox. Let's take a look and see what's inside. Alright guys, we are up to mission 59 here from Battlbox. As is always true, they give you this card that gives you the rundown. So you got Basic, Advanced, Pro, and then Pro Plus, which is the Knife of the Month level once you get to Pro Plus. On the back they have the rundown of the mission. Once again, they don't do particular themes anymore. It's just like a bunch of gear in every box. So let's start at the basic level and take a look and see what we have. Our first item is the Survival Metrics Hydro Kit. So here's a look at the kit. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was like seeds. They've done seeds in the past, but this is the vegetable solar still for, excuse me, for, I got a cough. I've been fighting for like 3 weeks. Anyhow, vegetable solar still for water collection and purification. The contents, 3 25-gallon bags specifically formulated for collection, a 6-inch drinking tube, 2 inch by 4 foot duct tape, and a resealable stand-up drinking pouch. So the value for this one is $12.95. I am certain when some people see this, they're gonna be like, just give me a clear plastic bag, what's the deal? So I get that. As you can probably tell, or maybe you can't, but the sun is starting to set here in New Hampshire. So this is not gonna be an ideal time to test this thing out, but I'll probably give this a run in the future and see what's going on. Survivalmetrics.com. I've never seen or used products from them before, but we'll check it out. So that's your first item at the basic level. Your next item is a rat's tourniquet. Now, if you know anything about tourniquets, people debate between the rats and the cats. Cats tourniquet, I think it's called. Rats and cats, yeah. The cats has the basically it's a solid like heavy polymer, heavy plastic. I don't think it's steel. It may have like a steel liner or steel piece inside, but anyhow, some people like that more because it's got that really solid piece that you can crank down. But this is the rat's tourniquet, and they're saying 2.0 or Gen 2. Value for this is 18 bucks. Here's what I can tell you is that if you don't have a tourniquet, these are less expensive than the cat. And if there's a debate between which one is better, we could talk about that all day long, but it's better to have some tourniquet as opposed to using a piece of string or your belt or something like that. So for 18 bucks, good to have this. Let me dig into the info here to see what's different about this second generation of tourniquet. So from what the card says, the second generation one is longer than the first generation for larger limbs and stuff. They also say that as far as putting this, excuse me, man, this cough. As far as putting this on in a stressful situation, they're saying this is the best one out there. So I'm glad that I've got another one of these. I actually just swapped a tourniquet out of a kit to put in a kit that I have that I'm using more as opposed to the one keeping in my office. So I'm gonna put this one in my office. That's our second item, and then this is valued at 18 bucks, the Rat's Tourniquet Gen 2. All right, our next item here is kind of unique because it is a book, Black Autumn. This is the first book, or Ready Man series, book 1 by Jeff Kirkham and Jason Ross, a post-apocalyptic saga, and they've got a bunch of reviews and stuff on the back. Let's see, just for kicks, so we can take a look and see. We're looking at how many pages? About 350, give or take, 362 pages it looks like, then the epilogue. So yeah, I mean, if you're not a reader, then this isn't gonna be a win for you, but I do like to read, so we'll check this out in the future, and they're valuing this one at 20 bucks. Last up at the basic level, valued at just under 16 bucks, 2 of these, which are the Quick Seal Wound Care Spray Powder for minor cuts, scrapes, and abrasions. And basically, it stops bleeding fast. You spray it, and it should seal up a small wound. So they've got some info on the side as far as other items. Directions for use: shake the can well, spray powder into the cleansed wound from a distance of about 6 inches. Cover the area uniformly to form an elastic membrane over the wound. Removal of the powder is not required in case of profuse bleeding, deep cuts, or hard to reach wounds. Spray into gauze pad and then place the pad on the wound, applying pressure. So yeah, I mean, this is not to replace the tourniquet, but it's for smaller wounds when they're bleeding to get them to stop. And you get 2 of those, and those items are everything at the basic level. Our next item is valued at 20 bucks. It is a pair of gloves from Ironclad, and I have other gloves from them. I use their like oil rig gloves as my winter gloves. They're kind of like, I think it's like this, like 3 fingers, 1, and then your thumb. And they're great gloves, and I've used their, just daily use gloves as well. I've got a pair of their leather gloves that I use just, around to keep me warm in like the fall and the spring. These come in extra large, so these are gonna be a little bit big for me. But these are called the impact protection gloves. You can see they have like that rubberized coating on there. As I was just thinking about it, I mean, the fact that it comes in a size that's going to be too big for me is not a win, honestly. I wear large. These are XLs. I feel like they could work okay. I mean, like when I put them on, they don't feel like they're absolutely huge. But if you got medium-sized hands and you got these, they may just be too big. So when I put these on, the palm definitely swells out more than I would like it to. So yeah, I mean, the gloves, the Ironclad gloves that I've used have been great. I don't know what they could do as far as maybe they could ask people what size they were instead of just sending them the size. But yeah, anyhow, Ironclad as far as gloves are winners. If the size doesn't work for you, that's not going to be a win. But this is our first item at the advanced level, and they're valuing this at 20 bucks. Next item at the advanced level is this. This is from the Atomic Bear, and this is a bivy. It says it reflects 90% of your body heat. So I thought at first this was just like a big, you know, Mylar blanket, but it actually is. I mean, you can see it's very compact, but it is a bivy. That's kind of hard to explain here. It is like a Mylar blanket, but it's formed to be like a sleeping bag. So SOL makes things like this as well. I can tell you if it's the same construction grade as SOL, I don't want to unfold the whole thing because I can still use it, and if I unfold it, it's just gonna be a total mess. The SOL quality ones, the SOL bivvies like this are good quality. You can climb into it without punching through it and ripping it. Some of those Mylar blankets can break pretty easily. It does come in this little stuff sack. This is great, man, to throw in a pack, and then you've got, you know, at least something. You've got something that you could use as a shelter, but also as a blanket as well. There's the little bright orange stuff sack, and then it also has a whistle there, which is pretty loud as well. It's like ringing in my ear now. So that's valued at about 15 bucks. Next item valued at 55 bucks is this. This is called the Climate Stache 18 Day Pack. And my first thought as soon as I saw this was this is gonna be great to put into my wife's minivan because it can be, you know, smushed down like this, really compact. And then if she ever needs a pack just for daily use or to get somewhere, because say the car breaks down, now she's got something she can throw some gear in. In my wife's car, I keep all her gear in a Tupperware because keeping it in a bag is just gonna be, it's gonna be easier for her to access it with a clear Tupperware to see what she's looking for. And then now she's got a bag that she can carry stuff if she has to, you know, she's with the kids and she has to go somewhere. So I'll show you a couple features of this thing. Ripstop material, got a zipper here for an internal pocket. It does pull down, it cinches down like this. So that'll close up the top. Grab handle. Some pretty nice cushioning considering the size of the pack. And then you can see it's got this mesh in the back, so when you're carrying gear, you're gonna be a little bit less sweaty there. All right, so I just found the cool feature here. You got this little ball here, you know, that you squeeze basically to inflate things. And as I'm doing it, it's inflating this section back here. So it's gonna give me more padding. I can actually feel it like filling up with air right now. So that's kind of cool. That's an additional, I mean, it's super compact, but then when you put that, squeeze this and fill it up with air, it's gonna be even more comfortable. And down here on the bottom, it's actually notably thicker, like there's more padding down here, and it's thicker as opposed to up here where it's, you know, probably, I don't know, an inch, maybe an inch and a half. So that's pretty cool. That's actually kind of a neat feature. I've never seen that before. Climate makes a lot of sleeping gear. I think I've got a couple other, like a sleeping pad and maybe a pillow as well. So value for this is 55 bucks. I didn't have to pay for it. I got it for review. Would I spend 55 bucks for this? It depends on the use. Like when I used to go backpacking a lot when I was in college, I would always bring my full pack and then a very small pack so I could go for day hikes. And this thing is super compact and lightweight, so I could put this in the bigger pack and then do the day hikes out from a base camp. That's what I see this being used for, kind of in the ideal situation for somebody who's out in the woods. So yeah, let's hear your thoughts on this in the comments, as is true with the other gear, but I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on this in particular. The Climate Stache 18 Day Pack valued at $54.95. Our last item is the knife of the month. It's from Coal Tree, and they say eco-minded goods. You can see that right there. They're calling this the Haswell Survival Knife. $10.95 for your steel. Does have a leather sheath. Let me show you that right there. Scandi grind. Got kind of that orange look to the leather. Some people like that, some people don't. I think it's pretty cool. Not going to fit a huge belt, but it looks like it'll fit your average belt there. Nice deep. It sits nice and deep in the sheath, which is nice. Let's try to shake this out. Nope, that's staying in place. Walnut for your handle, and there's a look at the actual knife. So they're saying Scandi grind. I took this out just to look at it briefly before. I have large size hands, and that it's a smaller knife, but it's very comfortable in the hand. Nice palm swell there, full tang as you can see, lanyard hole there. Let's see if we got a 90-degree spine. Feels pretty sharp. It's not a super steep angle, but it feels like I could probably throw a spark off a fire steel. One thing I can tell you is that you can see there's almost a little recurve, so it comes in, and then right before the actual cutting edge ends, it kind of swoops back a little bit. It does come nice and sharp, I can tell you that. Got my Exotac fire steel that I always keep with me on my keychain. See if we can throw a spark off this. Yes, we can. And without a lot of work. It's not like sometimes you got to really crank down and get a really strong angle. That was relatively easy to do. So value for this, they're saying 150 bucks. You know, whenever I hear something, say 120 and up for a knife, I think a lot of people are going to be like, I can get an Essie for that. I can get, you know, other knives for that. Essie seems to be the standard that I hear people compare it to. But you're looking at something different. I mean, that's not a standard Essie knife. This is definitely something a bit unique, smaller, a little bit more compact. This reminds me a bit of the knife that was designed by Mitch, who was on season 1 of Alone. And his is made by LT Wright, but it's got kind of a similar look to that knife. So you got an 8-inch knife from end to end, 4 inches for your blade, 4 inches for your handle, $10.95 for your steel. I think I already mentioned that. 14 ounces, and each knife is handmade, so that adds a little something different as opposed to your standard production knife. You know, it's being pumped out in a factory, so it's weird because the knife is small, but it fits my hand like just right. Like, yeah, like when I put my hand there, I'm like, boom, that's like a lot of control for a very, very small, well, not very small, but a small knife. I usually like a 7-inch blade or a 6-inch blade for a, you know, more of a survival knife. But yeah, that's really that's quite comfortable considering the size. And I'll give you a look at those handles again. Walnut there. And there's your knife for the knife of the month. All right, let's hear your thoughts and comments. In particular, I want to hear your thoughts on the gear as individual items, not like value for the box this month. Let's just mix it up. I talk about different things each month when I look at the gear. But rather than, you know, would you pay for that box? Tell me about the individual pieces of gear. What do you like? What stands out? You know, what would you buy on your own, whether you subscribe to Battlbox or not? Different question this month. So yeah, I'll be intrigued to hear what you think. Some pretty unique gear. The Climate bag, I've never seen anything like that, so that's kind of cool. And then, like I said, for a tiny little knife, this has got kind of a cool feel. Not tiny little, I keep calling it tiny, but for a smaller knife, it's got a cool feel, very good feel to it. And the fact that it's hand forged, I think that's pretty, or handmade, that's pretty cool as well. So let's hear your thoughts and your comments in the comment section. If you've never seen me do an unboxing video before, I don't review every single piece of gear. I just don't have time to do that for these unboxings. But I want to show you the gear and give you a sense of what's available, introduce you to maybe some new gear as the camera shakes in the wind here, and then also get you thinking about if subscribing to a company like Battlbox is a good choice for you. So thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids here on YouTube. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.